You know that feeling when everything seems too good to be true? That was Sam's life. He had the perfect job, the perfect house, and most importantly, the perfect girlfriend, Julia. Now Julia, she was the kind of woman you don't forget. Tall, raven black hair with these piercing green eyes that could pull you in with just a glance. When Sam met her, it was like something out of a dream. She was beautiful, smart, and to him, she was everything. They met at a bar 2 years ago, and before long they were living together in a cozy apartment overlooking the city, the kind of life you'd think was picture perfect. But, like with most things that seem perfect, there were cracks. Small at first. Julia started coming home late, her phone always buzzing, always locked. She'd mention work, then drop some vague line about meeting up with her friend Kate. Sam noticed the shift, but he told himself he was overthinking it. After all, Julia had never given him a reason not to trust her. Until one night she did. Julia had told him once again that she was meeting Kate for drinks, but this time something felt different. That nagging suspicion, the one Sam had been pushing down for months, had started clawing its way to the surface. So he did what he swore he'd never do. He followed her. She didn't meet Kate, not even close. Sam watched from a distance as Julia got into a sleek, unfamiliar car, driven by a man he had never seen before. They pulled up to a restaurant on the other side of town, one of those high-end places Sam didn't even know she liked. And there, right in front of his eyes, Julia leaned across the table and kissed the man. Sam felt his world cave in. But instead of storming in and confronting her, Sam did something unexpected. He waited. He watched. For weeks, he trailed her to secret meetings, fancy dinners, and late-night rendezvous in expensive hotels. Each time the man was with her. Sam learned his name, Marcus, a wealthy businessman who had apparently swept Julia off her feet. It was the kind of betrayal you read about, the kind that makes your stomach churn. But Sam wasn't just a victim, he was planning. One Friday night, after weeks of following her, Sam set his trap. Julia came home, late as usual, claiming once again that she'd been with Kate. Sam smiled, acting as if everything was normal, like he wasn't choking on the lies. "Hey, I've got a surprise for you," he said casually. Julia raised an eyebrow, curious. "A surprise? Yeah, something special. Get dressed, I want to take you out." She hesitated but didn't argue. Maybe she sensed something was off, or maybe she thought she still had him wrapped around her finger. Either way, she went upstairs, changed into something elegant, and came back down, pretending everything was perfect. Like the lies hadn't already burned through everything they had. Sam drove them to a secluded rooftop bar he had found. The view was stunning. Twinkling city lights stretching for miles, the kind of place that felt intimate yet distant from the world. Perfect for what was coming next. They ordered drinks, and for the first time in weeks, Julia seemed to relax. Sam watched her, noticing every flicker of nervousness that crossed her face. She probably thought she'd gotten away with it. "You know, I've been thinking a lot about us lately," Sam said, his voice calm, measured. Julia sipped her drink, feigning interest. "Oh, what about?" Sam leaned in, locking his eyes on hers. "About our future, about all the things we haven't talked about, the things I know." Her smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" "I know about Marcus." Her face went pale. She froze, her hand gripping her glass. "I've known for weeks, Julia. All those late nights with Kate, all those lies." He shook his head. "I followed you. I saw everything." Her breath hitched. But before she could speak, Sam pulled out his phone and played a video. It was footage of her, laughing with Marcus, kissing him, their hands intertwined. Julia's eyes widened in horror. "Sam, I can explain," she stammered. But Sam wasn't done. "I've already explained it for you," he said coolly. "I sent this video to Marcus too." Julia's phone buzzed on the table. She glanced down and saw the message from Marcus. "It's over. Don't contact me again." Her world was unraveling right in front of her, but Sam was just getting started. He stood up, dropped some cash on the table, and leaned in close, his voice soft but chilling. "Enjoy the rest of your night, Julia. Looks like you're on your own now." Julia's panic-stricken eyes followed him as he walked away, her mind racing. But just as Sam reached the door, he stopped. "Oh, and one last thing," he called over his shoulder. Julia looked up, a mixture of fear and confusion etched on her face. "Marcus wasn't the only person I sent the video to," Sam said, his voice dripping with menace. Julia's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean?" Sam smirked, his eyes dark with satisfaction. I sent it to your boss too. Her eyes widened in terror. Yeah, Sam continued. Turns out, sleeping with a competitor's executive doesn't exactly sit well with the ethics committee at your firm. I made sure they got the full story. All of it. Julia's face drained of color. Her career, her entire life was over. Sam walked away, leaving Julia behind, shattered and broken. The love she thought she could juggle? Gone. Her secret affair? Exposed. And her perfect life? Crumbling faster than she could grasp. But here's the twist. As Sam disappeared into the night, his phone buzzed. A text. From an unknown number. Everything's in place. She won't know what hit her. Thanks for the tip, Sam. Sam smiled to himself, slipping the phone back into his pocket. Marcus wasn't just some rich businessman. He was Sam's partner in this whole thing. Julia was just the final move in a game that Sam had been playing all along, and she never saw it coming.